Open your refrigerator. Look at the vegetable crisper. Chances are you will see a bag of bright orange carrots. You have been taught that this is nature's gold standard for root vegetables. You have been taught that they have always looked this way. But you have been lied to. The orange carrot is not an ancient vegetable. It is a political invention of the 17th century bred by the Dutch to honor their royal family, the House of Orange. Before that, carrots were purple, yellow, and bitter. But while we were busy perfecting this political symbol, we erased something else. We buried a root that was superior in almost every way. It was sweet enough to be used as sugar before sugar cane arrived. Let's look at the numbers. A modern carrot is 88% water and holds about 5 milligrams of vitamin C. Skirret is a nutritional dense pack. It contains up to 18% dry matter, nearly double that of a carrot, and delivers 4 times the antioxidant power. It is not just water in a shape, it is fuel. It was so valuable that the Roman Emperor Tiberius demanded it as tribute from the Germans instead of gold coins. And unlike the carrot, which you have to plant every single year, this plant lives forever. You plant it once. It survives the harshest winters frozen in the ground. And every spring it offers you a harvest year after year for decades. It is called Skirret. If it is so perfect, so sweet, so resilient, so efficient, why isn't it in your supermarket? Why have you never heard of it? The answer is simple. It was too wild for the machines. Modern agriculture doesn't care about flavor. It cares about shape. And Skirret refused to conform. Welcome to ancestral soil. To understand how we lost the emperor's root, we must go back to a time before supermarkets when food was valued for how it tasted, not how it fit into a plastic bag. The archive takes us to the 17th century in the Netherlands. At this time, Dutch farmers were undergoing a patriotic fever. To honor William of Orange and the fight for independence, they began to breed a specific strain of carrot that matched their national color. Before this moment, carrots were purple, yellow, or white. They were often woody and bitter. But the orange carrot was a triumph of marketing. It was bright, it was uniform, and it became a political symbol. While the orange carrot was ascending to the throne, Skirret was quietly being pushed into the shadows. It wasn't because Skirret tasted bad. In fact, historical cookbooks confirm it was far sweeter and more aromatic than any carrot. Skirret died because it was ugly. Look at its roots. They don't look like a soldier standing at attention. They look like a tangled hand of gnarled white fingers. They twist and turn. They hold on to the soil tightly. When the Industrial Revolution arrived, food became a factory product. Machines need uniformity. Machines need smooth skin that can be peeled in milliseconds. They cannot handle the twisted, delicate fingers of Skirret. Farmers realized they couldn't harvest it with a tractor. Processors couldn't wash it in a drum. It was too wild, too complex, too human for the assembly line. So we made a trade. We traded the complex, sugary flavor of the emperor's root for a block of orange wood that looked good on a shelf. We chose convenience over quality. We chose the photo over the flavor. But here is the irony. By choosing the carrot, we also chose a plant that is weak. A plant that requires constant replanting, constant care, and dies at the first sign of hard frost. Skirret, the ugly outcast, possesses a secret power that the modern carrot lost long ago. A power that makes it nearly immortal in the garden. The carrot is a biological sprinter. It runs one race and then it dies. Every year the farmer must till the soil, buy new seeds, and start from zero. It is a cycle of endless labor. But Skirret is different. Skirret is a perennial engine. Once you establish a patch of Skirret, you never have to buy seeds again. You harvest the roots in the fall, but you leave a small piece or a single crown in the soil. When the spring sun hits the earth, it wakes up. It shoots new green stalks toward the sky. It rebuilds its root system underground. It is a cut-and-come-again food source that can outlive the gardener who planted it. But its true genius is revealed in the dead of winter. If you leave a modern orange carrot in frozen ground, the water inside its cells will expand, freeze, and shatter the cell walls. When it thaws, it turns into a pile of rotten mush. Skirret, however, was born in the cold. When the temperature drops, this plant triggers a sophisticated chemical defense. It begins to convert the starches stored in its roots into complex sugars. Why? Because sugar water freezes at a lower temperature than plain water. The plant is essentially manufacturing its own biological antifreeze to survive the frost. To the plant, this is just survival. But to the human who eats it, this is a miracle. This chemical reaction means that skirret is one of the few vegetables on Earth that actually tastes better after a hard freeze. The colder the winter, the sweeter the reward. While the rest of the garden is dead and buried under snow, skirret is down there alive, waiting and sweetening itself for your table. We work for the carrot. The skirret works for us. So if it is practically indestructible and chemically superior, what does it actually taste like? Why did the Romans value it more than gold? Imagine a flavor profile that money cannot buy in a supermarket. It starts with the creamy texture of a roasted chestnut, followed by the aromatic sweetness of a parsnip, and finishes with a distinct note of white pepper and wild honey. It is complex. It is sophisticated. It tastes like history. It is not watery like a supermarket carrot. It is dense. It is creamy. The Romans didn't just eat it as a side dish. They treated it as a dessert. In medieval Europe, before cane sugar was affordable, cooks used skirret to sweeten their pies and puddings. It is quite literally the candy of the vegetable world. So why did we throw it away? Because of the dirt. Look closely at the root again. It is not a single smooth cylinder. It is a cluster of twisted, chaotic fingers. It holds onto the soil with a stubborn grip. You cannot just rinse it under a tap for 2 seconds. You have to scrub it. You have to work for it. And I will be honest with you. Inside each root, there is often a thin, woody core like a small bone. You have to remove it after cooking or eat around it like an artichoke heart. It forces you to slow down. The modern food industry decided that this interaction was a defect. They decided you are too busy to eat real food. They wanted a product you can swallow without thinking. They decided that you would prefer a bland, watery orange stick that comes pre-washed in a plastic bag rather than a complex, sugary root that requires a little patience. We sacrificed flavor on the altar of convenience. We allowed our palate to be dulled by industrial standards. But every time you choose to grow and eat skirret, you are making a statement. You are saying that you are willing to get your hands dirty for something real. You are rejecting the fast food mentality of the garden. The flavor is the reward for the work. And once you taste it, that smooth orange carrot in your fridge will start to taste like exactly what it is, a factory product. The emperor's root is still here. It has been waiting in the frozen earth for centuries, waiting for someone with the patience to reclaim it. This vegetable is not extinct. It is just hiding. You won't find skirret in the grocery store aisle next to the waxed apples and the perfect peppers. It doesn't belong there. It belongs in the corner of a garden that values substance over style. To bring it back, you have to be a seeker. You have to find a few seeds or a cluster of roots from a fellow gardener. It starts small. In your first year, it might look like a weed. In the winter, it will look like dead sticks poking out of the snow. But underground, the magic is happening. The sugar is concentrating, the colony is expanding, and when you finally pull that gnarly, twisted clump from the cold earth, do not wish it was smooth. Do not wish it was orange. Celebrate its imperfections. Those twists and turns are the proof that it grew wild and free without the interference of industrial molds. By planting skirret, you are doing more than growing calories. You are planting a legacy. You are planting a crop that your children can harvest long after you have stopped digging. We have spent the last century trying to make nature look like a machine. We straightened the rivers, we leveled the forests, and we turned our vegetables into identical clones. But the best flavors, the true flavors, are always found in the things that refuse to be tamed. It's time to stop eating the lie. It's time to dig up the truth. Go find the emperor's root. Plant it once. Harvest it forever. If this story made you hungry for the truth, subscribe to Ancestral Soil and hit the bell. We are just scratching the surface. The next secret is waiting.